Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, Donald Trump flip flops a lot, and he's always done that. And that way, he can always find a sound clip or a sound bite of him saying something that supports whatever his current view is. So, for instance, when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, I think he distanced himself from it. And then when he saw the political wins were in support of it, then he was saying, he was behind getting those Supreme Court justices in there that overturned it. When he was the president of the United States, Lindsey Graham tried to get a 20-week abortion ban installed in 2018, and Trump championed that idea and criticized Senate Republicans for not passing it. Now Trump is on the record saying he doesn't want a federal law. He wants it to be sent back to the states, like the Supreme Court said. Lindsey Graham and Republicans that are pro-life want a federal ban on abortion because then it could be forced on all states, including California and states that would never have an abortion ban. And then he and Donald Trump got into a social media snipe over this. When asked if Trump was being hypocritical for opposing a federal ban now that the Supreme Court has permitted, the federal government to make their own laws on this one, Graham just pivoted, said, "I'll let you ask him about that." Coward. Now, to be clear, if Trump were to get elected and a federal ban were to drop on his desk, he didn't say whether or not he would veto it. He wasn't asked that. So, lots of abortion stuff. So let's look at the general energy of the Roe v. Wade overturning in the United States, how that energy is looking, how it's looking on the election, and we'll just go with it from there. I don't think we need to really read on Lindsey Graham and Donald Trump yelling at each other on the internet. That's just not that interesting. But the abortion issue is. So entertainment purposes only. Let's see what we've got going on there. The abortion issue is going to be a major key election issue. No doubts about it. This is like the key issue. People are going to come out and vote based on this issue alone. Major issue for this election. Crossed with the Page of Cups. And the Seven of Swords is the underlying thing. The reason why it is such a key issue is that people's rights were taken away. Women had the right to do this since that decision was made in the early 70s. 50 years of body autonomy. And that was taken away. And once you start taking away some rights, who's next? Who's the weirdo with the strange blue cat on their head and the blue fish in their cup? You know they're coming for you next. Are you a boy? Is that a dress and leggings you're wearing? Can't have that. We're going to come after you next. This is going to be an issue. I think that not only is this an important issue, but it's a polarizing one. People have strong passions both ways on this, whether they're for it or against it. But I think also this activates young people to come out and vote because they see what's happened. For them, it goes beyond abortion because they can play the tape all the way through. They can look down the line and see what's happening next. It's abortion today. It's gay marriage tomorrow. It's transgender kids. It's the LGBTQ community. It's anybody who is being marginalized in this society. That's what's going to happen. And they didn't start with the fringe groups. They went after a core right that women had. And if they can get that through, you better believe they can get all this other stuff through. Young people will activate. They're not going to let their rights get taken away. In the past, you got the Four of Coins. One of the arguments about nuclear war, David, you're talking about nuclear war, and this is an abortion reading. Yeah, I'm like that. One of the things about nuclear war is that if everybody has nukes, there's mutual self-destruction, so nobody uses them, right? Yeah, we'll use it to fearmonger and stuff like that, but it's a great deterrent if lots of major countries can blow up the world 25,000 times over. It's like, don't launch it, because if you do, you're going to get a bunch of other countries launching at you, and nobody wins. It's kind of that same thing. The Republicans always champion their pro-life thing, and they want to get rid of Roe v. Wade, but they really didn't want to. They wanted to have you believe they would, so you'd give them money and political power. But for all those years, they did nothing substantial. And think of how many times that they had full control of Congress and the presidency, and they did nothing. Same thing with the Democrats. They fundraise off of making sure that you get to keep your reproductive rights. And those evil Republicans are going to take those rights away. You can replace women's reproductive rights with assault rifles or weapons, Second Amendment stuff. It's the same argument in reverse. The evil Democrats are going to take them away. The Republicans are there so that you can keep your right to bear arms. Neither side really wanted to act on it because they both fundraise off of it. That's what they do. Boogeyman. There's a boogeyman. The Republican boogeymans are going to take away your rights. Well, guess what? They took away your rights. The term is the dog caught the car. Dogs like to chase the cars. They like to get close. You don't want to actually catch it, because not only will you have a bunch of broken teeth and a broken face, but then what do you do? What do you do then? Congratulations. You got a tiger by the tail. Now what? Again, playing the tape through. Current situation is the Queen of Pentacles. The abortion issue, and this is a great card for I've explained this. Queen of Pentacles always reminds me of a mom with a baby on her lap, or a grandmother with a grandbaby on her lap. This is a very valuable issue, and it's more valuable to women than men. And it's valuable to men, but this is extremely valuable to women. And again, if they're willing to take away your rights, they're going to take away other people's rights. And when this vote comes out, it's not just for women or the woman voting. It's for her daughter, her granddaughter, her sister, her cousins, her neighbors, her nieces. There's a whole plethora of women that, even if they're beyond childbearing years, even if they would never have an abortion themselves, who the hell is some random dude to tell them what they can do with their body? It really is that simple. The overarching energy is the Six of Cups. It was a naive thing for the Supreme Court to do. It was a naive thing for the GOP to get behind this and champion this idea, because now it's theirs to own. And that's their gift to the next generation, is taking away your rights. And they will forever be known as the party that took away people's rights. They will guise it, they can try and dress it up as, we want to protect all the children, but they don't, because they don't have any programs in place for the children that they are being forced to be born. There are no programs in place to help them. The lesson to be learned is that this is going to come at a price. And that the piper is about done piping, and the bill is about to be due to be paid. And that election is coming. And this, I think the GOP sees a big blue wave on their future here, and they're bracing for it. And there's not much they can do about it, because the one thing that they need to stay in power is money, and all the money's going to the former president as he pays off his legal bills and occasionally campaigns. The Republicans have been left out to dry here to fend for themselves. Lesson to be learned is the Seven of Coins. Once this is all said and done, people are going to evaluate. They're going to evaluate the abortion laws, and I think they're going to look at what people's values are, and how do you best protect those values. If the GOP wins this election, and I really hope they don't, but if they were to win this election, they will absolutely codify women's reproductive rights, and then they're going after others. If the Democrats win on this, they're going to have to look at it and recognize that they have to do something about it. This is, you know what that Seven of Coins at the end is? That bush has borne all the fruit it's going to bear. Both parties have fundraised on this issue for decades. That's over. The fundraising days are over. The last gift that the Roe v. Wade issue is going to give the Democrats is a landslide victory in the upcoming elections. And their job at that point is to codify women's reproductive rights, amongst other things. Because they've got 2 years to get that stuff done to uphold their promises. If they don't do it in 2 years, they may not be around to ever have a chance to do it again. The days of fundraising off of Roe v. Wade are done. Time to shit or get off the pot. As my mother used to say. Mom had such a salty sailor way of saying things. My mother wears hearing aids. I'm sure she didn't hear it at all, even if she was watching this. Oh, wait, there's closed captions, huh? Never mind. Mom never said anything like that. Okay, so that's the energy around the Roe v. Wade in the upcoming election. What do I want to ask next? I think I even said at the beginning here, and then I forgot. Will women's reproductive rights get codified into federal law? Not abortion, women's reproductive rights. Let's be very clear on this. Okay, we've got the Eight of Swords. Being held captive, hostage. It's, in some ways, it's not fair. Women shouldn't even have to, this shouldn't even have to be a law. That's what this, know what that's telling me? This shouldn't even have to be a law. There's no equivalent for men in this, right? There's no equivalent for men. I can't even think of a good example. This is just okay. So thank you, Spirit. Basically, Spirit's telling me this is just even a ridiculous conversation to have. Women should have full autonomy to do what they want to do with it. It's like a guy would have to get permission to have his liver removed, or get a vasectomy, or whatever. Just dumb. And they're holding women's rights hostage. Oh, look at that. There's that Seven of Coins. Crossed with the evaluation here. With the Roe v. Wade, assuming that the Democrats get in a blue wave, they've got to look at this issue. They can't hold women captive anymore. This is a non-issue. This is about values and health. And you've got to give them back their rights. Underneath is the High Priestess. It's the right thing to do. And this might be the first in many bills and laws that get passed that are finally the right things to do. Not the fundraising things to do, the right things to do. And I think the Democrats might even have to look at other things they normally fundraise off of and get those things taken care of. Voting Rights Acts, gerrymandering, things along those lines. Because the Democrats can win pretty much any election because they outnumber the Republicans throughout the United States. All you have to do is level the playing field. The Republicans cheat. And if you get rid of the Republican cheating, they will move away from extremism and more towards the center because they actually have to run on policy. What's the question again? Women's rights and codification of women's rights judgment. Yeah, I think if the Democrats get in, and I think they will get in, this judgment's already been made. People have made up their mind. It's when you've taken away women's rights, who others' rights are going to come away from this? If the Democrats get in November with the majority, and I think they will, the American public has spoken loud and clear to them. I would really be curious on exit polling if there would be accurate exit polling on this. But you've got that opportunity. You better make your good decisions and go forward with it. Yeah, there's victory. Women's rights will get codified. Absolutely will get codified. They can't not do it. Failing to do that would be the biggest betrayal that we've got going on in this country that the Democrats will have ever done in modern history. I'm not going to go back to the Dixiecrats or the Democrats in the Civil War. I'm going to talk about from Franklin Delano Roosevelt or something like that on. This would just be the biggest betrayal if they didn't do this. Overarching energy is the Lover's card. The relationships that have been built. It's in some ways, it's the healing is starting. Because not only do you codify abortion rights, it's other things that you codify too. And start doing the right thing. Using your divine feminine wisdom and the judgment that's been given by the American people, you have not a mission, but a mandate. That's the word I'm looking for. You have a mandate from the American people to get this done. We put you in power to give you a mandate to get this stuff done. The lesson to be learned, but we won't be able to fundraise off of this. It's that juggling, not so much the values versus fundraising, but which ones do we get done first? There's so many things that they need to do in 2 years' time. But they're going to have to, they almost have to come up with a punch list of what are our top 10 priorities and get working on those priorities. And after the top 10, you have your next 10 after that, or your next 20 after that, so that the American people know what do the Democrats plan on doing, and are they going to deliver on it? Because if they deliver on it in 2 years, guess what? They're going to give you another 2 years to keep going and delivering on things. Outcome is the death card. I think we're going to put this issue to rest. Women being held hostage on abortion issues or reproductive rights, that's going to be put to end. That's coming to a close here. And I think we're going to have a lot of things coming to a close if the Democrats take the mandate that's been given to them, go forward with that mandate, and implement it. They're going to bring an end to a lot of these shenanigans here. Just do the right thing. You're victorious. Make your good choices and go. So. And as this goes, a lot of dominoes I really feel like are going to fall into place here. Is there anything else I want to throw on this? I think I'm good at this point. 20-minute read. That's long enough. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, shares, comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks discovering this channel recently or for the first time, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you found us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.